All this off. Let's try sitting the Jara, and I'm even going to take the weapon. Let's see what he can do in PvE with something a little bit better. So first off, we're going to give him this back. We're going to give him V4. See what he can do. I honestly am not expecting too much. What do you guys think in chat right now? Do you think his V4 is going to be anything worth like building? I honestly think there's going to be some good synergy on the teams that are really strong right now that are using Andreas, Ada's, carries, Void Asmodeels, all those fun things. What class is he? He is a warrior. A shadow warrior. So let's try doing this without a Transcendence hero. This might be a big mistake, but we're also going to run him with an active in round 1. Let me see how much gold I can get here. I don't want to rip completely all my gems. 74 is not going to be enough. We can upgrade it like one time. Yeah, one time. Attack, precision. We can keep an offensive one, although let's try like a conversion or two. Speed crit? Nah. No. That's not bad. Attack. All right, so let's test him out. Except we're going to have to hit a little bit weaker now. What is this? Oh, we're going to have to hit a little bit weaker. Let's start. No, give me. You know what? Well, let's just go. Let's hit up. Let's see what happens when we hit up. So we'll just run the Jara. We'll run the Jara in our lineup still. But what we're going to do is I'm going to grab our spare Rui Scepter. And we're going to run that on her. Just for some like CC potential. Let's see how this works out. So, same team, except now we're running a V4 offensive. Let's see what his damage looks like, because we can kind of compare him to a ToC almost. He does hit the whole back line. He'll get an active in round 1 because we do have energy feed still. I think he's going to come up with an attack here in a second. Are you next? Oh, that's a good amount of damage. That's a good amount of damage right there with the Punisher staff. Problem is my whole team's just too weak. It didn't look like a lot of damage when you compare it to what the Jara just did to us. All right, let's find someone more in our damage range. More in our power range here. Oh, he's not going to get an active in round 1. We didn't get lucky with that. Oh, but he got hit. The problem is he's taunted, though. Which is really bad. He does definitely dish out some damage on that single target. But, of course, in that scenario, when he's taunted, not the best idea. We should probably just throw him to the front row, but hey, whatever. This guarantees he gets energy, even if he doesn't get it from the carries. All right, well, he might die, so we can see the sword play in action here. No, we're just going to win. All right. Again, it's really hard on accounts like this that's not end game, but it's not like late game. We're like somewhere in the middle where we don't quite have enough power to hang with like the multiple Transcendence Heroes teams. Is he a flop hero? I don't think so. I really don't. Is he going to be a good first E5 hero? I highly doubt it because he does not have sustain, and that's normally what you need in a hero. Is anybody going to hit you for an active? Doesn't look like. Oh, we did get an active round 1. Oh, that's some damage. That is some big old damage. Let's see who he dies to. Oh, he's still alive somehow. Okay. All right, who's got the ghost? This right here. No, we didn't get the kill. Darn. His resurrection is really, really hard to pull off, honestly. Like, it's really hard to pull off. His damage is solid. But again, you got to remember this is a V4. If we had the Punisher on... If we had on the Jara instead, the Jara would just be doing, like, gangbusters damage. Just all-out craziness. Onkirimaru doesn't heal? I don't believe so. Avo, I'm going to have to time you out, man. I've literally answered the questions a couple different times here, and You just keep posting the same thing. Let's see what happens. Is this queen literally going to take us out? Like the solo queen? All right, so it's on you, Eloise. Get a kill. All right, don't get a kill. Oh, that's interesting. All right. So the only other thing I want to test out real quick. I mean, his damage can be good. What I also want to test out is in Trial of Champion. What happens to his slot? I imagine his slot is saved. Because from the looks of it... Oh, okay, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Let me fight someone stronger. Let's watch it. Because his sword sits there in the ground, it's much like Carrie's ghost. It should hold the spot. The question is, does it hold the spot forever? Or does it go away once the ally who gets the sword buff also dies? This is going to be interesting to see. If he dies. That's the big question. Maybe he's not going to die as a V4. He might die end of round damage from Ada this round. Our team is so weak. How are we still alive? Okay, he did die. So it went to this ticks down here. The ticks died. What happens now? It stays there. So does that mean it holds the slot for the entire fight? That might not be good in Trial of Champion to have multiple of him in the same lineup, whether they're V4 or anything. Hold on. Do we have more carries here? 1, 2. Hold on. I want to test something out real quick. Last thing we're going to just look at real quick here. We got carry, 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 carry. What happens in Trial of Champion if we battle and all we have in the front lineup are carries that have ghosts and an Onkirimaru? What happens? Normally, if you have all carries and they all die, you just lose the fight. No one can come in off the bench. What happens with the Onkirimaru as well? Do we just lose the fight? I kind of hope they... Let's see, right here. Yeah, you just simply lose the fight because just like carry, it's going to completely take up your spot and you can't have anybody fill in. Except it's much worse than carry because in Trial of Champion, carry will eventually revive. Although once Onkirimaru loses his sword on an ally, he doesn't get to give it to another one. So he simply makes it so you lose a complete spot. That's really, really, really bad.